Welcome. In this video, let's discuss about the provisions for platform worker. So in this video, we will discuss what exactly are platform workers, what is the latest provision which has been envisioned by the center, what is the security bill that have come into picture. So we will discuss about all this in detail in this particular video. Let's begin. So the first thing that we need to know is why this platform work was in news. So the code on social security 2020, so that is the main code in which they are trying to define the platform work for the first time, which is like outside of traditional employment category. So the traditional employment category generally used to be the fixed term employee or the contractual worker, but there was no such term as platform worker so far defined under any code. But the new code on social security 2020 tried to define the platform work. How it has defined it, we will also discuss that in our upcoming slides. Labor fall under the concurrent list of the constitution. Now this is an important thing for you to remember, that labor is actually under the concurrent list. What does being in concurrent list means? That both state as well as center can make law on it. That is the meaning of being in a concurrent list. For an example, the other topics or the other subjects that are there in the concurrent list include your education, forest, and so on. So we can see that labor is also in a concurrent list of our constitution, which means both state and center has right to make laws on it. Recently, the parliament passed 3 labor codes on industrial relation, occupational safety, health and working condition, and social security. So these are the 3 code bills which has been passed by the parliament recently, proposing to simplify the country's archaic labor law and give impetus to economic activity without compromising the workers' benefits. So that is the whole idea. In fact, way back, Economic Survey in 2017 itself has talked about how it is very important that India modify or India kind of codify its labor law, because India is kind of losing out in the exporting market because of the archaic labor law which was still functional in the Indian territory. And so the economic survey itself suggested that we need to modify or reform the labor law in such a way that we are not compromising the benefits provided to the worker, but at the same time we are also not making it very harsh on the employer. So that is the whole idea of the reforms, and recently parliament did pass 3 codes in that reference. Those were on industrial relationship, occupational safety, health and working condition, as well as social security. These labor law can be a transformative impact on labor relation in India, along with the Code on Wages Act of 2019. These can significantly ease the conduct of business by amalgamating a plethora of central and state laws on labor. So this is the major thing, that instead of having plethora like plenty of laws which create confusion, repetition, duplication, instead of that, if we have solidified, consolidated act somewhere, it will be easier for the employer also to follow, and it will be easier for employees to know their rights. So in that regard, this is actually considered a very progressive move. So now this is your homework. Go and read the provisions of Code on Wages Act 2019. So this is again one of the important code which has come up in terms of how the employees' right are considered by the present government. So read about the provisions on the Code on Wages Act 2019. Now let's move forward and try to understand what the Code on Social Security 2020 is about. So platform work is defined under this code. Let's try to understand what this code generally consider. So it will replace 9 social security laws, including the Maternity Benefit Act. So if you remember, in 2017 the amendment was passed regarding the Maternity Benefit Act. So that Maternity Benefit Act, along with Employees Provident Fund Act, Employees Pension Scheme, Employees Compensation Act, all these 9 security laws will come under the ambit of Code on Social Security. So again, you can see this is more of like a consolidation process of the different laws. The code universalizes the social security coverage to those working in the unorganized sector, such as migrant workers, gig workers, and platform workers. Now, this is a very important concept, that it is going to extend the social security coverage to the unorganized sector, migrant workers for an example, gig workers like the one who is like hired on contractual basis, then platform workers, the one we will discuss about it, what are they. Aggregators, meaning the digital intermediaries of the marketplace for a buyer or a user, service to connect with the seller or the service provider. Simply just understand, aggregators are what we could call as the Ola and Uber for an example. So they were the cab aggregator. Then we also have aggregators like Swiggy, Zomato, who work as a food aggregator. So these are aggregators, like they are providing the digital, they are working as a digital intermediaries, providing platform through which the worker could directly connect to the consumer. So this is the whole idea of aggregator, and under this particular code, it is specifically required to contribute to the social security fund. So this has been going on for a long period of time. In fact, there was a major strike by the Uber drivers way back in 2018, when they were telling that Uber was not giving them any kind of security and their payment was held up. So aggregators, because they were outside the ambit of the employer, like the technical category of it, they can get away with it. But this particular code on security, social security in 2020, specifically mentioned that no, even the aggregators would have to contribute to the social security fund. So that is the background. For the first time, provisions of social security will also be extended to agricultural workers. Now, this is also a very progressive term, that agriculture workers, the agricultural laborers who were considered at the bottom of the strata in the social ladder, they will also be provided with the social security. The idea of providing them with social security is very progressive and could really help the cases where the farmers were committing suicide. So, such kind of problem could be tackled using the social security coverage. The code also reduces the time limit for receiving gratuity payment from the continuous service of 5 years to 1 year of all kind of employees, including fixed term employees, contract labor, daily and monthly wage worker. So this is something like, if you go back and ask your parents, they will say that for enable to avail their gratuity, they have to at least work for 5 years in a continuous in a same company. But this thing has also been amended under the code on social security, which means that you can get your gratuity payment within 1 year itself. So this is again something which is meant to give more freedom to the employee who could avail the income at their hand. So in order to increase the disposable income at the hand of the employer, again at the end of the employee, again this code on security social security bill talks about the decreasing the period for availing the gratuity payment. So these are the major things which are mentioned under the code on social security. Now let's quickly try to understand what platform work is. So platform work as defined by the code, so this is a definition which is provided in the code, means a work arrangement outside of a traditional employer-employee relationship, in which an organization or individual use an online platform to access other organization or individuals to solve a specific problem or to provide specific services or any such other services which may be notified by the central government in exchange for payment. So this is how the platform work is defined, like the Swiggy. So it's not only the delivery people in under the Swiggy will be the platform work, but even the contract they have with the restaurant will also be a part of it. So that's what could be considered as a platform work. Now, why this particular platform work is very significant for the economy? So first of all, it gives flexibility and ownership over delivery of work. So basically the people are not like there is not set target from one side and you have to meet them, but it is more flexible and you have more ownership. Important for delivery of essential services as seen during pandemic. So you can understand during pandemic now when everybody go ahead and shop online. So Amazon, Flipkart, Big Basket. So all these things have actually flourished during COVID time, and they kind of made people realize that these platforms are very important. It is also employment incentive sector, so which means it provides employment to a lot of people. So it is overall good for the economy. Potential sector for growth due to fast pace of urbanization. Now as urbanization is increasing, more and more service oriented platform would be required by the people, and hence it has a huge potential. Development of rural areas due to remittances sent by platform workers. Now this is also something, an indirect impact of platform work, that the platform workers, the delivery people who deliver us food or essentials, they could send the remittances back to their home way back in the rural India, and in such a way we are boosting the economy of rural India as well. So these are the major significance of platform work. Obviously it also has problem which is regarding the ownership, which is in order unable to track the exact kind of work they are doing. Apart from that, no social security so far. So platform work had the problem, and also it was trying to push for the gig economy. So gig economy is basically nothing where the instead of hiring an employee permanently, the employer will try to hire for small work for more of like a contractual basis. So it kind of give push to the gig economy also. So all these things are problematic, but it provides a lot of benefit to the society as of now. And with the evidence of code on social security which do cover these platform workers as well, it is going to be more beneficial for the people who are working over such platform. So I hope you have understood this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you.